You guys remember?
Whenever what?
Clap sync?
3, 2, 1.
Hey. Alright. What's up, you guys? Third, maybe fourth episode, depending on what happened to the last one. Today we got...
Kate. Sorry.
She forgot her name for a second.
I did. I didn't know why you were gesturing to me. My name is Kate. I am also in the Newman Club. Hi.
And we got...
Chaz?
I pointed to you.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm Andy, but I've been here before.
Well, yeah, but still.
Oh,
and we
okay,
got...
my bad.
They
My
may not have
bad.
seen you before. Though.
My bad. Should we start that over?
No. And we got Joel.
We got Joel?
Yeah.
That one. That's Joel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were referencing Chris.
No. He already said Chris.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know why you make this so damn
Smooth
complicated.
intro.
Best intro.
All right. Lent. That's what we talked about
Lent.
last time, right? Right. So they kind of went in a more like a canonical view, I guess. Yeah, kind of, he says. I think today, I think a good topic would be things we give up for Lent. Kate, you want to start?
Sure. For Lent, I didn't actually set any quantitative goals for what I would give up. I did say that I wanted to limit this time I spent on the internet, which is kind of impeding my schoolwork. That sounded canned. But Lent isn't just about giving up things. It's also about taking on obligations. So it is good to give something up, but it's also good to do something too, because faith is spread through works too. So I'm also saying the rosary with these people as part of...
That's what we are, people.
Yes, you are these people.
What was the
Yeah,
What was the worst thing you gave up for Lent?
the best
that mean?
worst thing.
Well, because I'm not gonna say it's bad, because it's good to give something.
You mean what was the most difficult for me to give up?
Yeah, in non-Joel terms, what was the most difficult thing you gave up?
Oh.
I'm not sure. Possibly. I really like mints, so I remember giving those up one Lent, and that was kind of rough because I like mints a lot. But yeah, I think that was
What kind of mints?
anything that's any sort of mint flavored candy, like mint lifesavers, York peppermint patties.
You ever had Testaments?
Yes,
Is that a candy?
I have. In
You
fact.
have?
Yeah, I have. My
Oh my God.
What is that?
my
The
grandmother's had them. She does class. She teaches kids rosary stuff, and she's had testaments before. She's given them out to the kids.
What is it?
No, they're
Do
just
they have like prayers or like verses on them? or
no,
anything?
they're just like mints with like the.
They have scripture on them.
Do
yes.
they? Oh, okay.
They
One's
do.
Jewish,
They do
one's
have
Christian.
verses, biblical verses on them.
Wow.
Testaments. Get them now.
Sponsor us, please.
We'll try.
We had
Sponsored by the Holy Bible.
one of our older members of the Knights, Bobby.
Bobby.
He likes gum a lot, and like to the point where like he'd have like 2 packs in one day.
It's like a smoker.
Yeah, it's basically like a smoker. Freaking, but chewing tobacco and whatnot. And so he tried to give that up for Lent, and that to him was the hardest thing.
Wow.
Because
That's a lot of gum.
I don't know. He just needs something in his mouth at all times or something. I don't know. But yeah, Chris,
Yeah.
don't do the same thing as last time. Just answer my damn question.
Well, I need you to ask me a question.
Lent, what you giving up? Or taking?
Why are we jumping around like this? I feel like it should go in a line. So, like, Joel, what are
Chaz,
you giving
Shut
up?
up, Chaz.
Chaz,
Chris,
what do you?
I gave up red meat.
he gave up red
Gave
meat.
up.
Now tell him why you gave up red meat. This is an interesting story. Listen to this.
Do you even know the story? I
I
didn't
don't
tell
think it's
you why I gave
it's
up
why
red
you're
meat.
thinking. Are you thinking of the burgers?
Yeah, I'm thinking of the burgers. I'm pretty sure that's the only one.
That's not why. It's more just for a health reason. I just want to eat more chicken.
He
So
just
giving up
likes
red-
chicken.
What? You don't need to give up meat to do that. You could just eat more chicken.
Okay, but if I give up red meat, then
He's inclined to eat more chicken.
yeah.
No,
I'm
Chris.
inclined to eat
Today's the
more chicken.
28th of February. All right, it's only like 2
Two-
days.
yeah, 2 days into Lent.
So you can change it.
Well, also like, I was telling Andy about this, but there's like a stat where I think like agriculture takes up like 18% of like carbon emissions,
Yeah.
and then like just producing beef takes up like half of that. So like eating beef contributes like a lot to carbon emissions. So if I don't eat meat, then it helps the environment.
I don't think you not eating meat helps the
Well,
environment.
not me personally, but
Because
like
someone else is. I'm gonna eat it. Someone else is gonna eat it.
okay,
But
but
it's the
if
thought that counts.
people
Yeah.
if people collectively
Yeah.
don't eat meat or eat less meat, then it would make a difference.
True.
Now,
so
the real
you're trying
reason-
to make a difference.
Huh?
You're trying to make a difference.
Well, by not eating meat, I am maybe like an infinitesimally small difference, but collectively,
What did
Yeah.
you say? Infinitesimally?
Infinitesimally small.
infinitely.
That's not what he said.
In,
though.
infinite.
I don't know.
Infinitesimally.
INFINITES.
Phil, just edit that out.
All right.
No, listen.
It's not
It's a spelling
infinitely,
bee.
but it's a
Fix it
different
in
word.
post.
The real reason is because when we have
The real reason.
Why are you,
The real
why are you
reason.
That's
saying
not
The
the
Joel
real
reason.
Joel.
the my reason for him giving
Joel's
up red
reason
meat
for everything.
is because we had a dinner, a Newman dinner on Saturday, and we were making
on
burgers.
a, on a,
year
on a
ago.
Saturday a
On
year
a
ago.
Saturday
yeah.
a year ago.
Like a
And
year
we were
ago.
making burgers, and this kid undercooked every single damn burger except for like one. All right, and
But
it's because
why did he-
I
okay,
told
yeah.
him what to do, and he didn't freaking listen to me. That's why they came undercooked.
How did you prepare the patties, Joel?
It doesn't matter.
All right,
how
here's
So are
the-
you
if
saying
you
we're
Can I
trying
just-
to
as a
do
question.
penance for?
when
Can
I
we move on?
bit
Can we
of a
move on?
tangent.
Yeah, let's move on.
when
Let's
thought-
move
I
on.
when
My
I
version-
made the
can-
patties,
All right.
they
Joel,
were
stop.
It's
cooked.
all right, Joel. It's all right. It's all right, Chris.
No,
It's all right.
I'm not getting worked up over this. So take your hand off my knee before I meet to you.
Chaz. Wait. What was the worst thing you've given up for?
Most
Best,
difficult.
worst
Or done.
thing?
Most difficult.
We just talked about it. You were like 2 feet away. We're just
I don't know.
Well, then stop saying best worst thing.
What was the
I already
best,
told
worst
you
thing
it
you've done
means
for Lent?
most difficult.
Probably social media.
you giving up social media,
Yeah.
like all of it. Or,
Well, I kept YouTube.
that's not social media.
Yeah.
It's videos.
So I just watched more YouTube. So
Yeah, that is a problem. Right? You give up one thing, but you just do more
Yeah.
for the other.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I
sometimes-
felt like getting rid of like all social media aside from YouTube. Like it's pretty
It's not a
rewarding.
social media.
Exactly, but I thought it was rewarding knowing that I could do it.
And when Lent was over, how quickly did you come back?
Like the day of.
Chaz,
Right.
before
so,
you answer, Chaz,
Yes.
give us a little like introduction as to what Lent is about.
Well, I mean, talk to me about giving things up for Lent. When you give something up for Lent, yes, it's good to give up something bad, but what's really important and the reason we do it is so that we give up something that we really miss. And whenever we notice that we don't have this thing we're used to, we take that time to give up our kind of annoyance, our little pains and sufferings to Jesus, and kind of a little bit of us reliving his kind of passion and the suffering he went through. So, like, for this Lent, I gave up soda because I drink a lot of that. And so, like, every time during the past 2 days so far, but over the upcoming Lent, every time that I realize or recognize that I really want a soda right now, but I can't have one because that's what I gave up, and try to kind of give a little prayer, just kind of, think about how Jesus must have felt giving up all that he gave up.
What kind of soda?
All soda. Like any
Well,
carbonated
like, what kind of
drinks.
soda will you drink?
I love Dr. Pepper.
Of course,
I was gonna say
you
I've
have
seen you.
to.
Yeah, I've seen you drink
If you
Dr.
don't,
Pepper.
that's
I also
like
drink
a-
Mountain Dew Kickstarts if I'm feeling a
Ooh.
little tired.
I was gonna drink one last night for the first time
Yeah.
in the library, and then the vending machine didn't work. So I guess it wasn't meant to be.
I had
Should
a
have Mountain Dew with Doritos. It's like a good combo.
my sweet mate freshman year. He would just buy like Coke Zero. He'd buy like four cases of them and just like finish them in like 2 days.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
me, being the hustler that I am, took the bottles that he didn't, that he finished,
Mm-hmm.
and turned those
Recycled
into
them?
5 cents each. Yes,
Let's go.
yes, the hustle.
Nice.
Chaz, what was the?
Cold shoulder.
Ice.
I didn't see that. I'm sorry. Chaz, it's just 'cause, like you're like isolated.
And we got
Not
video
by my own
evidence of what
choice.
happened, so we
I
can
know
always check.
Not
Yeah.
that much room on the couch.
To be fair, I mean, you could have, but Chaz, you sat there and all right, whatever.
I wanted to sit.
You blaming me for this?
I'm not gonna.
Sounds
all
like you're
your fault.
blaming me.
I'm not
for
gonna
this.
blame myself. All right, Chaz, what was the best worst thing you've given up for?
Most difficult. For the love of God.
All right. So I, as much as I love soda, I also really love coffee. And in high school, my junior year, I was getting very little sleep, so I really relied on that coffee in the morning to keep me awake throughout the day. And I gave up coffee for Lent, and I slept through more than a few of my classes because I didn't have that keeping me awake. But
You didn't have friends to keep you awake.
no, it
You
scared
didn't
teachers.
have friends?
Yeah, no, he didn't have friends. Period.
No, I have no friends.
How does coffee
Chaz, we're here for you
keep
now.
you up? It doesn't keep me up.
Well, it depends. Like how much
You
coffee.
keep yourself
like
up,
if I drink like 4 espressos before school, it'll keep me awake for a couple
4
hours.
espressos, okay. A couple hours.
What's an espresso? It's define espresso.
It's really rich coffee. I guess that's how I could put it.
How much does it cost?
I mean,
Well,
it's
it's
a different way of making it. Like,
It's like-
normally you have tiny things of espresso.
It's like
so
the amount of caffeine that's like in 1 cup of coffee. You condense it and put it in like a shot worth
Yeah,
of
pretty
it's
much.
It's like
Espresso.
stronger. I
I
don't
should
know
have
exactly.
That's
espresso.
why they call it a shot of espresso because
Yeah.
it's like the same amount of caffeine as a regular cup of coffee.
I've never had espresso. I should have espresso.
You should have espresso.
Maybe like that episode in The Office where they got like the Keurig or whatever, and they're all just trying them, and they're all like all hyped up on it. Andy,
Yes. What am I giving him for that?
yeah.
Is that the question? Well, couple things. I am giving up YouTube because I spent a lot of time on that. Most recently, I've been addicted to Family Feud videos.
Yeah, shout out to Family
So
Feud.
Steve Harvey's hilarious, but
They're
yeah.
gonna take them off.
What?
They're gonna take them off.
No.
Yeah.
You're okay.
I have noticed you're actually doing work in the room now. You're not on YouTube.
Well, also I've been in the room less this week because I haven't been watching YouTube. I've been going to the library to do work. So yeah, I'm trying to be more productive by giving up YouTube, and then also, I said I was gonna try to wake up every day at the same time because if you know me, I don't wake up early ever. So I said, okay, if I can wake up at like 7:30 or 8 every day, and then like spend
You
maybe
woke up early at Emmaus.
yeah, but not like when I'm here.
No, okay.
So if I could wake up and spend like half an hour every morning, the first thing I do to just like read the Bible and like try to pray, like more, just like spiritually, I guess. Then I feel like that would help me, and then hopefully getting up earlier would force me to go to bed earlier and then be more productive and all that, better with time management because I struggle with that. That didn't happen these past 3 days. I haven't gotten up early. I haven't gone to bed before like 2 a.m. this week, I don't think. But yeah, and then other than that, I've been thinking like, why don't I just try to pray more throughout the day? So like trying to turn things into prayer. Like if I'm having a week like this where then I'm not sleeping much and I'm stressed out, maybe I'll just like instead thank God that this is my struggle, because it's like it's so much easier than other people's struggles and things like that. So yeah, just trying to be a better prayer, I guess, is the overall thing.
No, wait. What were you gonna put?
Oh, he said it already.
Oh, okay. Best worst.
Oh,
Most
okay.
difficult.
I
Best
think
worst.
I don't remember if this was that difficult for me.
Okay,
But
who's the best worst people here? Person here.
The best
so the most
person.
difficult
I dare say
person.
the
That'd
most
be me.
difficult person here is you. Very much so.
Best worst. All right. I'm gonna say peanut butter, because I love peanut butter, and I used to eat it all the time, like at home, like every day, or something like that.
What kind of peanut butter? Like chunky or
I love chunky peanut butter, but I'll eat any peanut butter.
like on its own or like with stuff?
Yeah, I could eat it on its own. A spoonful. One time,
Yeah.
my brother Jordy, if you're watching this, shout out. You gave me a jar of peanut butter for Christmas one time because I asked for it, so that was pretty awesome.
What
but
the heck? Was
so
it
yes,
like-
I love peanut butter.
Was it a big jar?
Yes,
How big?
you know, not big.
Oh,
That's not that big.
Regular, I guess.
I mean, typical is like
Anyway,
like that big.
I gave up peanut butter because I was eating it all the time, and then after that, I kind of like took a break from peanut butter for a while after Lent. but then we bought a 4 pound.
I
I think we bought a 4 pound
It
jar
was
of
like
peanut
4
butter
pounds of peanut butter.
about a month ago, and it's
Oh,
gone now.
It's gone.
So it's about gone.
Interesting.
So I'm back on
Okay,
that.
but to
I'm
be
back on
fair,
peanut
our
butter.
sweet mate Jackson would keep coming in and
That's true.
eating our peanut butter.
So Jackson, you owe us peanut butter.
And tortilla chips.
Yeah. True story. Joel, what are you giving up for Lent?
I saw this one guy. Oh, we're still on the peanut butter. I saw
Okay.
this one guy put a whole 32-ounce jar of peanut butter on 2 slices of bread. Just eat it like that.
I don't think that's enough.
Challenge accepted, yeah.
It was like this big, and it was like flopping around all over. All right. So this Lent. Now every time after I get out of class, I walk here because we have stuff usually, or just walking home. I'll pass the Union and buy food. I'm not doing that no more. So I'm
Why not?
well, because one, it's a lot of money. Although I have money, but it was like $30 each time, and so
Wow,
like
what?
What do you
Well,
buy?
for fathers, I mean, it is overpriced.
Well, from Father's.
From anywhere, yeah.
No, from Father's, Halal, and Panera.
Every time?
Every time.
Wow.
I eat a lot. I'm a big boy. I eat like a big boy. But yeah, so I'd always buy food, and so I'm not gonna do that anymore. So probably gonna starve.
You mean fast?
But why?
Starve.
Fast.
But why did you give that up?
Because it was a lot. Oh, and also like it was. No, I don't usually do this, but I was gaining a lot of weight. So
So is it
Wait, what do
How
you mean
is-
you
how
don't do
is-
this anymore? Like you don't gain a lot of weight anymore?
no, I mean like I don't care about my weight that much.
Mm.
But when you just buy pants and you don't fit into them no more.
You should invest in some stretchy pants.
I have stretchy
You need to
pants.
borrow some sweats.
But yeah. So that's what I'm giving up. Oh, and also I'm waiting for my friend to give me something because we always give each other a Lent.
Yeah, Lent.
A Lent, yes.
Nice.
Last year I think I gave her. She couldn't eat sweets, and she loves eating sweets, so I give her the hard things.
Yeah. What was your best, worst Lent? Give up thing.
Most difficult.
Best worst Lent
Stop.
thing. All right, let's see. I want to say. Oh, I gave up video games for Lent.
Wow. That must have been really
Wow.
I don't believe it.
Yeah. When?
I did give up video games for Lent. That was.
Before, he was just telling us how he spent a week straight last year playing video games.
He finished Kingdom Hearts
I
3
had
in a week.
Kingdom Hearts, I finished that in a week. It took me like 96
100%
hours.
completion.
100% completion. I don't do anything less. But yeah, I did give up video games for a month. That was interesting.
What'd you do instead?
I don't know. It's like a blank spot in my life. Even with my eidetic memory, I think I played soccer.
Mm.
Soccer.
Cool.
Shut up. No, just shut up. I didn't play soccer. Just don't worry. I forget. Honestly, I don't know what the heck I did. No, I had the same reaction from like Father Joseph. I was like, "Yeah, I gave up video games." Like, no, you didn't. I'm like, "What you mean? No, I didn't. You don't believe me?" No, of course not. But yeah, so that was probably the best worst thing that I gave up.
All right.
Yeah. But how about instead of giving up, how about like things you guys taking on?
What do you mean
Well,
by taking
like
on?
I said,
An obligation. Lent is about not just giving, not just about sacrifices, but also obligations to be a better person.
right. I mean, like I said, I was, or one of my goals was to get up earlier and pray and all that. Because I actually did that a few weeks ago, like one day. And I was like, this feels really good. I should do this more. And I
Yeah,
was
that
like,
would be an obligation.
Yeah. So that's one thing I'm going to try to do.
So Phil gave me a question here on a napkin.
Or tissue.
All right. Why do Catholics think fasting is important? But first of all, for people who don't know what fasting is, to put it in Joel terms, when you wake up, you break fast. As in you eat breakfast.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys know
I've
that.
heard, I've heard that before.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it's not just Joel.
yeah, it's that in breakfast you eat food. So in breaking fast, or in breakfast you eat food, and in breaking fast you eat food. Therefore, fasting is not doing something. That's the simplest I can get. It's
So
just
in other words, it's not eating food, or is it eating less food?
not eating food. Because you fast overnight when you sleep. Unless you're like Chowder and wake up to like go to the fridge and eat like the
You
whole
wake up
fridge.
with mouthfuls of peanut butter.
I don't know. I've got a jar of peanut butter in my room that occasionally I'll just wake up.
You shouldn't have told me that.
My psych professor, he was saying that there was like a drug, like what's it called, a sleeping pill that had side effects where people would like sleepwalk, or that they would eat in their sleep. And he said that people would wake up with mouthfuls of peanut butter.
But yeah, so that's fasting. It's just the giving up of something. It doesn't have to be food, but usually it's attributed to food. So
Well, fasting is generally attributed to food. Wouldn't abstaining be attributed to pretty much other things?
You can abstain from playing video games or
You
from
can abstain from
drinking soda.
the term for
well, that's food.
giving up meat on Fridays is generally
That's food,
considered abstaining from meat. Which, I mean, it is a sort of food, but it's still not quite the same as fasting because you're not giving up all food. Well, then why is fasting important? Let's go into that.
Anyone?
It's important to live a simple life. There's beauty in simplicity.
Oh.
And,
So it's simple to fast.
and I guess it's easy to take for granted that you eat 3 meals a day because not everyone on this world does. So when you fast, you recognize what it's like to be hungry because so many people in this world do.
In that case, should you also always finish your food?
I do.
Probably.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. My mom yells at me if I don't. It's like you're wasting food.
I mean, as
Well,
Like
Catholics,
she'll throw
we're
chocolate at me.
Yeah.
required to fast on Ash Wednesday and Good Friday during the Lenten season. So, I mean, those are special days where we kind of are supposed to reflect upon life and mortality and just kind of consider other things. And so we abstain from eating and we fast to kind of bring ourselves more down to earth and recognize ourselves.
And another thing is that Jesus, during his temptations, which were the basis for Lent, he went into the desert and he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights.
Mm-hmm.
At least I think it was 40 nights. It might have been just 40 days. But Jesus did fast while he was in the desert. And in reflection of that first Lenten season of sorts, we do the same thing. We fast from food on Ash Wednesday and Good Friday. We fast from meat on all Fridays of Lent. And we fast from peanut butter or internet or video games and such throughout Lent. Those are all fastings in a sense. All abstentions.
And
I don't know if that's the right word.
all abstentions.
Abstention?
I don't think that's a real word.
I don't know.
That's a word.
What
Sounds
what does it
close
mean?
enough.
I believe if Chaz says it, I believe
To
it.
abstain from something. is-
Abstention?
You have an abstention.
It wouldn't be an abstention.
Wait, what?
I
What's
can't
the
pronounce
difference?
anything.
No, for
pronunciation.
abstaining.
I think it's the same word.
Since
It's
when
not
does
the
it
same
say
word.
abstain? It's
Depends
abstain.
on how many sit-ups you do.
True.
Whether you're having abs.
Do you have abs or?
I'll throw this question out to you. What is one of the responses that Jesus gave to the devil while he was in that desert during his fast?
Is it man cannot live on bread alone,
Yeah, man cannot live on bread alone,
yeah.
but of the
but of the word of the Lord?
right. So another thing with why we do fasting is like to remember that like this isn't what we need,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is not what sustains us ultimately. It's it's the God that sustains us. Talk about mortality and our imperfections.
Memento mori.
What if we don't have imperfections?
You're Jesus.
Yeah, you Jesus. I was about to say that.
Well, Christopher means Christ bearer, so what if I bear Christ, making me?
Does that make you a cross?
I wanna come back because I remembered.
So
I
you want me
remembered.
to T-pose?
there was. All right, so like, wait, what did the napkin say again? I forgot now.
What-
Talk
Memento
about
mori?
mortality.
What does memento mori mean? I forget.
Remember
Remember
death,
death.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh right.
As a knight, we should know that.
That's why I
I'm
know.
not, a,
Yeah.
I'm not a knight, but I did take Latin. I should know this.
I wanted to bring up a story I remember. Other than video games, there was actually a Lent where I tried to play more video games.
Wait, why?
Why?
That wasn't it. Listen.
To bring you closer to Jesus.
Oh, now
Yeah,
I
man,
get it.
like,
Oh, yeah,
if
yeah.
you're playing Doom, you're like you're slaying demons. It's a pretty holy
Yeah,
thing.
man, come on.
Yeah.
No, it was like 4th grade.
Mhm.
Like 4th grade CCD classes, so Sunday school. And they were like, we were filling out this thing. It's like, all right, what are you guys going to do for Lent? And I'm like, I'm going to play video games with my dad for Lent, right? And then like 2 days later, he didn't play video games with me. This is the saddest thing ever.
Oh, so you were doing it so that you could bond with your dad?
Right, and also
Yeah.
so I could, scrape him. But he didn't like getting scraped, so he'd always be like, "Nah, let's do a team thing." I'm like, "All right, whatever." But then it was sad to me how like everyone would like bring in their sheet like full, and then mine was like it like stopped because he just wouldn't play video games with me.
It's okay.
Well, you can't control what someone else does is part of the problem.
Yo,
but then again,
as
you
a
were only
kid,
in
if I
4th
told
grade.
my dad to play he better play video games with me, right?
My dad never played video games with me.
Did you
my
have video
parents,
games?
my parents would never buy us video
Yeah,
games.
I played. I had a couple.
But did you ask your dad to play with you?
Yeah. Every once in a while, I convinced him to play chess with me. But then there was this one time I beat him in
Chess.
3 turns. So
You
like
know,
he
three
didn't.
turns?
You know chess
Yeah.
isn't a
There's
video
a
game.
4-move win and a 2-move win. How did you do in 3?
You know chess.
I don't even remember.
Is there a 1-move one?
No.
No, the
That's
quickest one
impossible.
is
No,
a
chess isn't a video
2-move
game,
win.
right?
It's
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
but it's a win if you're the black side and the white side happens to be really really stupid. I think it's called Fool's Mate. And then there's a 4-move
have to do a
win for
certain
white,
move.
which is Scholar's Mate.
Interesting.
I don't know. I was never good at chess.
Paper mate?
Shut up.
No.
Okay.
So back to mortality.
Mortality. What is mortality? Because honestly,
You will
Being
die.
Yeah.
able to
No,
die.
it's
You
it's
can
too
die.
many-
It's a reminder that we need to be spending this life preparing for the next.
So what does that have to do
Good.
with fasting?
Bars.
Well, fasting makes you recognize that kind of this life is temporary. I mean, during Ash Wednesday, we put our ashes on, or we have them put on us, and we're told, "You are dust, and to dust you shall return."
We weren't told that this year.
Yeah, they didn't tell us
Well,
that actually.
yeah,
They
they
kinda-
kinda-
This is like a
Well,
variation.
yeah, no,
of
it's
it.
always different. They'll
Yeah,
go into their
yeah.
own special thing, but like
I
why
went
not
to
just
class
do
in
it?
the morning, and then my friend saw me, and she was like, "You have a smudge on your forehead." I'm like, those are ashes. She's like,
Mhm.
"Wait, why?" I'm like, "You've never heard of Ash Wednesday?" She's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I got a couple of weird looks.
They didn't even give Chris like a cross. It was just like.
What just happened?
I don't know what happened.
Deacon-
No,
The
Deacon-
cross,
yeah,
like,
Deacon
faded.
Jones needs to put his finger.
Yeah, he was really super
He needs
like.
to put his finger
Father John was
into the
going
freaking
full-
dust.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't. Do you want to stop for like?
Just say that we're coming back.
All right.
And now a word from our sponsor.
we don't have a sponsorship.
Testament.
All right, we're gonna.
Testaments, yeah.
I mean, that's really, we
Testaments
could
of
just stop
Testaments.
without me saying stop.
I don't know.
Just say like.
All right,
We're
we're
gonna
gonna
stop.
like. The camera sucks, so we're gonna pause.
Testaments. Eat one today. Testaments. Please sponsor.
Good job.
Testaments. I love you. Testaments.
We're not.
Testaments.
Stop.
Okay.
All right.
Hey. Commercial break's over.
Just a break.
Sorry, I just really love Testaments. I am sorry.
We're not sponsored
Stop.
yet.
We will be.
From what?
All right. Mortality. Chaz, continue what you're saying.
What was I saying?
I don't know, but just continue.
Right, so
Death.
mortality, death, we're all gonna die. We need to be preparing for the next life. On these special days where we really focus on death,
Deal.
That was it.
That's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure where I would continue on from.
Yeah, I think you summed it up. I think you did sum it up pretty well.
All right. Well, we're gonna talk about this then. The second part of this napkin.
Tissue question.
Tissue
Number question, part 2.
All right. So with fasting, right? I guess what Phil was trying to get at is like, what's the point of doing it if afterwards, like we'll
You're just going to fall back into the same habits.
right,
You-
like Chris with
Yeah.
the social media.
Like at midnight on Easter, did you like? What are you pointing?
Well, my phone's vibrating.
Oh,
It's
So
vibrating my leg
I'm
too.
just putting the phone next to Chaz so he can feel the vibration.
Yeah.
that's cute.
One of the great things
Does
about Lent.
Can you feel the
Thinking
vibrations?
about
And
the vibration. I don't know.
no, we're gonna get
Oh,
copyrighted.
good vibrations. by
Kate,
Marky
what
Mark.
were you saying?
Funky one.
One of the great things about Lent is that it's 40 days long. It's a little over 6 weeks. And the great thing about humans, we were talking about this earlier actually before the recording, is that it takes us about 6 weeks for a habit to form. If you spend 6 weeks every day making your bed, then it'll eventually become a habit for you to make your bed every day. And speaking from experience, actually, and it's like God knows that 40 days is enough time to get us to do something. And I mean,
I still play video
sometimes,
games.
especially if it's a habit that you really kind of wanted to start but always kind of fell back from doing, Lent is a great time to do it, especially because, first of all, you're doing it for God, which sometimes can make it that much easier, and second of all, because the 6-week duration in which you feel obligated to do it, in which you're supposed to do it, it's a lot better to have that 6-week duration instead of just setting a New Year's resolution and then thinking, January 5th, I set a New Year's resolution. Never mind.
Yeah, and like, I don't know if I said this already, but like for Lent, you don't have to give up anything. You can just do something instead.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like you don't have to break a habit. You can also build one, like Kate was saying.
So
You can break habits too. It's really
Yeah, if
Lent
you
is
want.
about searching your feelings, as cliched as that sounds,
get in your bag.
and doing what's best for you.
Yeah.
What you think. No, not just what you think is best for you, but what God knows is best for you.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
be
well,
like
it's-
this Lent. I'm gonna smoke more weed or something. I don't know.
'Cause I think that's
That's-
gonna be
Well,
better for me.
I can't
Yeah.
do that.
No, you can't do it.
Oh,
As Grand I ordered you, you
Okay.
cannot do it. It has to be something that'll benefit you in some way, or even the people around you.
Yeah, I've always thought of it as like, whatever you're doing, giving up, or trying to form a habit or whatnot. The purpose should be like to grow closer to God, or like focus more on your faith, something like that.
I mean, I don't really think it matters too much what you actually choose to take on or give up. I mean, don't do anything bad, but the real focus of doing these things is to grow closer to Christ and like give up things that you'll notice that'll remind you to think of Christ, or take on things that'll bring you closer to Him, like praying each night or something along those lines. So like the purpose for us for Lent is that we grow closer to Christ through trying to kind of imitate His actions.
And if you do pick up something instead of dropping something during Lent, I do suggest to keep that thing going even after Lent. Because I mean, like me, I played video games, especially more after Lent, because I was behind.
Maybe a Lenten obligation, but does that mean that you should just keep doing it for Lent?
Right.
Because every Sunday is a celebration of Easter,
Right.
and yeah.
All right, I want to put this out there. What do you guys think? I don't know how you think. I know how you think
you
about
know
it.
what
I know you
you
think.
know how I think.
Yes. What do you guys think? I'm gonna put this out there too, of breaking your fast during Sundays of Lent.
Mm.
I say it's garbage. That's dirt right there.
That's
Well,
how I was raised.
I mean,
I guess the question is, why is this an
canonically,
issue?
you're wrong.
No,
Yeah,
like
that too.
like
Yeah,
would-
but why
canonically
would it
you're
be
wrong.
considered in
I
the
mean,
first place?
You're not.
We should probably explain why it would be considered in the first place.
So when you have a fast or something that you're abstaining from during Lent, yes, you're supposed to abstain from these things, but on Sundays, because it's a celebration of Easter every Sunday is considered a feast day, a time of celebration when you.
And it's technically not counted in Lent.
So
Yeah.
it's a time when you do the things that you were fasting from, the things that cause you suffering.
Or at least you can, but the
you
question
can.
is,
You don't
should
have
you?
to.
The question is, should you?
Yeah, that's the question. Should you?
I mean, I don't think it's.
I think yeah, that's like up to your personal self-examination. I feel like, and if doing that on Sunday is gonna just, if you're just gonna like indulge yourself on Sundays and stuff like that. Like if I were to watch, every new Family Feud video on Sunday, then like what would the point of giving it up be? But like, yeah, I don't really plan on watching a lot of YouTube on Sundays, like, or at least I'm gonna try not to.
Right, but like,
I don't know.
like, what's the point of, like, I understand like the feast day thing, because like my Father Joseph does that too back home, and to me it's like, that's kind of cheating. It's like I get that it's a feast day and like stuff from the suffering, but like what's the point of doing it that one day? Why not just go for the long run?
The point of not doing it on those other 6 days of the week is that every time you don't do it, you think of Christ, and you become and you come closer to Him, and then you celebrate on the 7th day, and that re-celebration of Easter to kind of also be joyful in that He rose from the dead, and remember that every Sunday. And so while you give it up on those other 6 days, and that brings you closer in that you're acting like Christ and you are kind of trying to imitate His actions on that 7th day, you're celebrating. And so I think you're fully within your right. And like if you think that on Sunday, if you do the thing that you gave up, then you might fall into a bad habit again and start doing it during the week, then sure, I would agree that it might be a good idea to keep abstaining from it. But otherwise, I think that it's very healthy for your spiritual relationship with Jesus to do these things on Sunday and do the things that make you happy, that you remember the reason that we're celebrating on Sunday.
So what if I didn't give something up and instead I said I'd do something? Would it then be okay for me to not do it on Sunday?
Sure, it would be okay, but like, why wouldn't you?
Oh, I'm just putting this out there. You're the one to do it.
I mean, typically when you abstain from something, you give it up. I mean, we also said that it's good to add things on as well. But I mean, I wouldn't say
I'm not
that,
saying we're no abstaining. You're just doing something.
I mean, these are good things that I
Right.
would encourage in general. So
So you would say do it that Sunday too?
I'm not saying indulge bad habits on Sunday. I'm saying
No, I'm not
be
saying bad
joyful in
habits.
general.
I'm saying like the habits that you try to take on that like try to make you a better person. I'm not saying the bad one.
Right, so like if you're making your bed every day during Lent,
And you can
like, should you not make your bed on Wednesdays? I mean,
Sundays.
Sundays.
You should just like destroy your bed on Sunday. But then you go to church so you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, there is also the problem of keeping up a habit. It's easiest to keep up a habit from a psychological perspective. It's easiest to keep up a habit if you
Like
keep
doing
doing
a
it
little bit?
daily. You do it. You keep on doing it, and you build it. You build it into your consciousness, your subconscious. You get it ingrained in there, and so I mean, yeah, you can decide to not do the things that you were obligated to do, and you can decide to indulge in the things that you were abstaining from, but personally, I wouldn't recommend it, and I personally don't do it. Hey, what about St. Patrick's Day? Do you guys give up? Because in my family, we always had St. Patrick's Day. We always had St. Patrick's Day was a day that we could indulge in whatever we were abstaining from.
Wait, when's St. Patrick's Day?
March
March
17th.
17th.
It's almost always during Lent.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Seriously?
There's
Yeah, my
another
family does
feast
that
day too that I know people do that for. I think from what I've heard, Irish people more do it on St. Patrick's Day. Italian people more do it on, I think it's St. Joseph's feast day or something along those lines.
Yeah,
I don't actually remember. I just know that there are two of them. But yeah, what
Yeah,
are
my
your
family
feelings
always
about
does
that? Because those days aren't necessarily Sundays.
Yeah, but I think
But they're-
it's still the general idea. Like, you're not gonna fast on a feast day. So.
Yeah, my family always does that. Like, if St. Patrick's Day is on a Friday, we'll still eat like corned beef and cabbage because it's just tradition for us. We're not even Irish, but we like the traditions.
They just like the food.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, I mean,
Everyone's Irish on
talking
St.
about
Patrick's
eating meat
Day.
on
True.
Friday, like it's something interesting that I didn't always know is that you're supposed to, as Catholics, not eat meat on Friday every Friday during the year, not just during Lent,
I didn't know that.
and that like for other times during the year, certain regions, so like the United States bishops have said that if you do something else in place of not eating meat, like you do some special charitable act or give up something else in the place of that on Friday, then you can do that instead. But during Lent, you do still have to not eat meat.
Right.
So there's still always that obligation every Friday to abstain from something for Catholics.
Now, what surprises me is that a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad. Because, like, a lot of, like, teenage Catholics don't know that. And I don't know why.
And a lot of places around the world, like, America's a little unique in that we do that. Like,
Because we have the food. In other places, you know, they might not. Like,
yeah, that's part of it.
Like, I'm pretty sure, I believe before it was a greater fasting than just, like, meat. But, like before, since it wasn't as, like, damn, what's the word? Since, like, the people weren't as, like, wealthy to, like, afford, you know, like, a good health, you know, they had to, like, dumb it down. Because, you know, people were getting sick and, like, you know, actually dying. Can we save this for next time?
It's all about mortality, right?
Yeah.
You fast to die.
It's like 12 minutes over.
That's the ultimate way to get closer to Jesus.
Remember, you will die.
How much?
It's over now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But plus the other half.
That's fine.
But like, I don't want these to be too long.
Yeah.
Then don't talk so much.
That's the last one.
Okay.
It's gonna mess up the algorithm. You won't get those
Excuse me, Kate?
subscribers.
Excuse
Click the
you.
button and subscribe below.
I'm the best worst talker, right? All right. How does one suffering help you get closer to Christ?
Like, how does our own suffering help us get closer? Okay.
Wait,
Because Christ suffered and we're following in his footsteps. Done. Let's end the podcast. Okay.
Wait, I do
I
want
mean,
to
she's
give
not
like
wrong.
I do want to give a story. There was this saint.
Oh, go for it.
There's a saint. Don't know his name. But
Why not?
yeah, okay, good. And I forget if it was a he or she. I'm just adding on to the
I know
to
them.
the unknown. But they got cancer. And
Peregrine?
what?
Peregrine? Saint Peregrine. He was he was a patron saint of cancer because he had cancer, I think. You know, never mind.
Well,
keep
tell
going.
me if it's
Thank you.
Peregrine after I explain.
I don't know, but
But so this kid got cancer, and you know
Was he a kid or you just saying?
his kid, he was good. His
Okay.
hair started falling out,
Mhm.
and
I
for
didn't
each
know it was a hymn though.
this
for
wasn't
each
Peregrine.
hair that came out, he would just be like, for Jesus.
Mhm.
All right, until he was like completely bald. Father Joseph gave us this one because like it was just like such a great suffering, but he still found like, you know, something in that suffering. You know, he still found pleasure in that suffering. No, not pleasure. He found grace in that suffering.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, like Kate was saying, like since Jesus suffered, you know, we can suffer too, and in that way, like kind of get closer to like his feelings, if you will, because he was human, and so kind of. Did someone else talk? Because I'm kind of in too much.
Jesus is the only perfect human, right? But yeah, he still went through like the greatest suffering for us, and so like the least we could do to give back to him and like say sorry, I guess, is like suffer a little bit, like even though our suffering is just a tiny fraction of what he went through. And like Joel always says, if I say sorry to Joel for something, he'll be like, don't tell me, show me. So it's like we gotta show Jesus that we're sorry.
And it's also a way to check your own hubris, like when
Hubris.
your pride, your arrogance.
Why didn't you just say pride?
Because hubris is a
like
good
a-
word.
Fancy.
Hubris is like a fatal pride.
Isn't that fancy
Yeah.
here? Did you see the editing in the first one? Alright, continue.
Don't make fun of my
When you abstain from things and or you give things up and you suffer, you kind of recognizing your own imperfections and your own ability or difficulties in doing these things. So you're recognizing that you have trouble with this stuff.
Alright, that's all we're gonna have time for because we're not gonna make this too long, or else you won't watch it all the way. Thanks for joining us. Please comment because you know we kind of want your ideas as to like what else we should talk about or anything you want to say. And if this question never does come up in the comments, yes, that is my real laugh. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.
Smash that like button.
Why are you
Bye,
waiting?
Yeah, bye.